In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on November 23, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Clemson versus Georgia. We've got a massive Sunday showdown in Charleston at TD Arena. It's a border war on the hardwood, Clemson taking on Georgia. Now, if you just glance at the records, you might be scratching your head. You've got the Georgia Bulldogs sitting pretty at a perfect 6-0, looking like world beaters. Then you have Clemson at 5-1, coming off a gritty win against West Virginia. But here is the kicker: the books have opened the one-loss Tigers as the favorites. When you see an undefeated team catching points against a team that's already lost, alarm bells should ring. That is what we call a stinky line, and usually the odds makers know exactly what they are doing. Let's talk about the personnel, because the names on the back of the jerseys have changed drastically from what you might remember. First, look at Georgia. Yes, they are undefeated, but they are doing it with a completely reshaped identity. Remember Asa Newell? He's in the NBA with the Hawks now. Silas DeMarie Jr., he's running the point at UConn. That is a massive production vacuum. Coach Mike White has done a great job plugging holes with guys like Blue Kane, who dropped 16 on Xavier, and grabbing transfers like Cannon Catchings from BYU. But they haven't faced a defense as disciplined as the one they'll see today. On the other side, Clemson is playing Brownell ball to perfection, but they have a secret weapon for this specific matchup: R.J. Godfrey. This is the ultimate narrative angle. Godfrey played for Georgia. He knows Mike White's system inside and out. He transferred to Clemson this offseason, and now he gets to square up against his former teammates. That kind of internal scouting report is invaluable. Clemson is battle-tested, disciplined, and they have the best defensive player on the floor in this matchup. We are fading the undefeated underdog hype and trusting the more cohesive unit to dictate terms in Charleston. As our first pick for this matchup, the Clemson Tigers to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. If you have watched Brad Brownell coach basketball over the last decade, you know that number is practically offensive to his philosophy. Clemson wants to grind you into dust. They just played West Virginia and held the game to a 70-67 finish. In fact, if you look at the metrics, Clemson's games this season are averaging a total of roughly 142 points. That is a full 15 points lower than what the books are asking for today. Georgia likes to run a bit more, averaging higher totals, but it takes 2 to tango. In a neutral site game at 1 p.m. ET, legs can be a little heavy, and shooting distinct lines can be tricky. Clemson has the defensive personnel to force Georgia into a half-court game. If the Tigers control the tempo, which they usually do when they are the better team, getting to this total points is going to feel like climbing a mountain. We are banking on a defensive slugfest rather than a track meet. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total, is our full game total pick: Virginia versus Butler. We've got a fascinating clash at Colonial Hall today between 2 programs that are rewriting their own scripts this season. If you haven't been watching the Cavaliers under Ron Sanchez this year, you need to wake up. This is not the same slow grind machine of the past decade. Virginia enters this game at a perfect 5-0, but the scariest part isn't just the winning, it's how they're doing it. They are stifling opponents, holding teams to a microscopic 37.2% shooting from the field, yet they're finally pairing that elite pack line DNA with a legitimate offensive punch. The catalyst here is the new blood. Transfer forward Thies DeRitter has been an absolute revelation, dominating the paint with 19 points per game, while Dallin Hall is running the point with the kind of surgical precision that makes this offense hum. On the other side, Thad Matta's Butler squad is 4-1 and scoring in bunches, largely thanks to Michael Ajayi continuing his double-double tier. However, the Bulldogs have a fatal flaw. Their perimeter defense is leaky, and they are facing a Hoos team that is suddenly knocking down double-digit threes per game. Butler relies on turning games into track meets to cover their defensive lapses, but Virginia has the discipline to control the tempo and the firepower to punish mistakes. Look for Chance Mallory to hound Butler's guards into turnovers that turn into easy transition buckets for the Hoos. We expect the Cavaliers' defensive efficiency to travel well to this neutral site, suffocating Butler's rhythm just enough to pull away late. As our first pick for this matchup, the Virginia Cavaliers to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. If you are still auto-betting unders in Virginia games based on reputation alone, you are living in the past. The books have adjusted, but even that might not be high enough for what these two offenses are producing. We are looking at a Butler team that is lighting up the scoreboard with over 92 points per game and a Virginia squad that, believe it or not, is averaging just shy of 90. This is a first to 80 type of game, which is unheard of for the Hoos, but entirely real in the 2025-2026 season. Butler's Finley Bizjack is shooting 50% from deep, and he's going to look to push the pace immediately. The Bulldogs rank in the top tier of the Big East in assists because they move the ball until they find a shot, and they are willing to give up baskets to get them back. Virginia is happy to oblige, with Malik Thomas stretching the floor and Johan Grunlo cleaning up the glass for second chance points. The Cavaliers are wildly efficient. The pace won't be frantic, but the efficiency will be off the charts. Expect a lot of made shots, minimal droughts, and a game script that sees both teams trading buckets down the stretch. We're banking on the offensive renaissance continuing for the Wahoos against a Butler defense that simply cannot get stops. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Northwestern versus South Carolina. We are heading out to the mountains of West Virginia for the Greenbrier Tip-Off Championship, and frankly, these two programs are moving in very different directions this November. On one side, you have Chris Collins' Wildcats, who have started this season a perfect 4-0 and look like a well-oiled machine despite losing their captain to the NBA last summer. The emergence of Nick Martinelli as a legitimate Big Ten alpha has been the story of the month. He is currently averaging over 18 points per game and has seamlessly taken over the go-to guy role left vacant by Brooks Barnhizer. Martinelli's unique, crafty finishing around the rim is going to be a nightmare for a South Carolina frontcourt that is still trying to find its identity after losing their defensive anchor, Colin Murray-Boyles. The Gamecocks, on the other hand, are in a bit of a scramble mode. Yes, the return of Meechie Johnson for his final stint in Columbia brings star power, but this roster feels disjointed. Without Murray-Boyles cleaning up the glass and erasing mistakes, South Carolina has looked vulnerable in the paint, and their reliance on hero ball from their guards has led to some inefficient stretches. Northwestern's system requires discipline to break down, something this revamped, transfer-heavy Gamecock squad hasn't shown enough of yet. We're backing the team with the offensive continuity and the best player on the floor in Martinelli to handle business on this neutral court. As our first pick for this matchup, the Northwestern Wildcats to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Now, while Northwestern's offense has been clicking early, I'm pumping the brakes on the scoreboard for this specific matchup. We know Lamont Paris wants to grind this game down to a halt. His Gamecocks simply don't have the firepower to win a shootout right now, so their only path to victory is turning this into a half-court rock fight. South Carolina's defensive efficiency has dipped, but their pace remains methodical. They are going to use the full shot clock to limit Northwestern's possessions. Furthermore, let's talk about the venue. Shooting sightlines at these resort ball arenas like the Greenbrier can be notoriously tricky for jump shooters. We've already seen Meechie Johnson struggle with efficiency this month, and if Northwestern's perimeter shooters like Ty Berry, if available, or the young guards get cold from deep, this game will be decided in the mud. Northwestern is efficient, but they are also comfortable playing slow, disciplined basketball. Expect a physical, choppy game where free throws and defensive stops matter more than transition threes. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.